I hope I've got the timings right. Is that like most cereals, a late summer harvest? I shrug, thinking of a field of wheat. Will I get to drive the combine? She raises her eyebrows. Either I'm not taking this seriously enough, or she thinks it's a terrible joke. I try again. And will we have some of the seed for next year, or doesn't it work like that? She tells me that's exactly how it works, that she ended up buying enough halo rice seed, that's the variety, some kind of salt-resistant hybrid, for 2 years, because she wasn't sure how good our germination rate would be, but that we should also keep back some seed. Don't cook it all just yet, Cathy, she says. She carries on talking, but I get distracted by the piping call of 2 oyster catchers flying overhead and watch them, white and black, until they disappear over the top of the house. They'll be heading down to the rocks now that the tide is low, searching for whatever it is they eat. I've never seen an oyster down there. These plants are small. Do you think the water will keep the slugs away? Ephie says, holding up a seedling. We have a brief discussion about the swimming ability of slugs. Ephie reminds me that they drown in beer traps, but I think that's because they're drunk rather than because they can't swim. She grimaces. Let's hope British slugs don't have a taste for rice, I offer, and she makes a joke about them being nationalists that only like native food. I remind her they always made short work of our pak choy. Damn slugs, she says. She makes 2 more trips, and then all the trays of seedlings are on the patio, crowding next to each other like pots at a church fete. I try to ignore her bare feet, which I know are trailing muddy footprints through to the kitchen. My wellies are by the back door, and I pull them on, hoping they're tall enough for the deepest part of the paddy. Hands on hips, Ephie stares out at the water. So, you just scoop out a handful of soil, stick the seedling, including its compost pot, into the hole, and then push the soil back round to secure it. Then a 10-centimetre gap, then the next. Should be easy enough. She's wearing her gardening shorts, navy linen with deep pockets, and a cotton shirt so threadbare that one of her tan shoulders is peeking out. She's only done up 4 of the buttons across her front so that her soft, lean belly shows beneath a V of open fabric. When she bends, the whole thing falls forwards and her breasts come into view. I know she'd take the shirt off entirely, unabashed, if it were a little warmer. She has an ease with her body I've been envious of since the moment I met her. You're not going to wear those, she asks, pointing down at my wellies. It's muddy. You are such a girl, she says, a smile showing at the corners of her mouth. I tilt my head up. Proud of it. Don't use girl in a derogatory sense. She reaches out a hand and tugs me towards her. My wellies squeak on the way, and she kisses me, a coaxing, gentle sort of kiss that ends as soon as it begins. She lets me go. Honestly, I think you should take the wellies off. I don't want them stomping all over my carefully laid paddy. I bow my head, bending to tug off the boots. I take 3 steps over the damp grass to the edge of the paddy, my toes spreading wide, enjoying the earth. I stop at the brown water, looking into its murky depths. Ephie plunges in like a child in a paddling pool, splashing her way to the centre and then grinning back at me. I follow slowly, raising a foot over the earth wall and plunging it down into the paddy. Over my head, gulls squawk. It's not cold, and the soil at the bottom isn't gritty like I expected, but a smooth gunge that oozes between my toes. My feet sink as though in soft sand, and I feel at home, like I'm down on the beach and not in a muddy pool. I imagine the soft footprints I leave behind, the little clouds of brown that will disperse every time I take a step. I move towards Ephie, nearly falling over as I stretch from one trench to another. They're only 30 centimetres apart, but hard to see with the water lying across the top of them all. The paddy suctions my toes, begging me to be still. I flail my arms to catch my balance. Ephie watches me like a cat. Stay where you are, she says. I'll put a tray at the end of that.